In this video, I explain where I've been. There has been a lack of videos in the last few weeks, but more importantly to stream watchers, a lack of streams. The reason for this is I basically spent the last 3 weeks traveling and was planning to stream while I was away, but just ran into so many issues that I finally wanted to catch y'all up on when I got home, and I had a lot of stories to tell. I'm talking, I went to Montreal for a friend's wedding, then I immediately went to California for VidCon, then AX right after. A lot happened, man. I was very excited to share it with y'all, and I did it live at twitch.tv/Kwote, where I'll actually be live tonight. If you enjoy this video, this card at the end will take you to another video like it. And did you know only 20% of y'all are subscribed with notifications on? If you sub and hit that bell icon, you'll never miss an upload, and you can always undo it later. You want to hear some stories about where I've been over the last 3 weeks? Why I have not streamed in weeks? No, thank you. I was planning to stream while I was in California. Like, I was gone for a week for my friend's weddings. I was not going to be trying to do work. Trying to enjoy the moment, be there for like one of my homies' like special moments, one of my best friend's moments. But while I was in Cali, I was planning on streaming like my normal schedule I was out there. I even bought like a little Netgear router that I could use to like, so I'd have good internet wherever I went, but I forgot to set up the data plan. My actual streaming setup on my laptop completely borked. It just fucking broke. Unfortunately, did not successfully stream while I was while I was out there. That said, some funny wedding stories. Has anybody here watched the Please Stop Talking podcast? I've been on it a few times. You've heard of it? A lot of my friends, basically. I was at like the wedding of the main host of the show, Billy. Very congratulations to them. It's they became even gayer husbands. That was actually my first gay wedding. Funny that was funny. I asked Billy if I could play Not Like Us. This motherfucker was like, that's what the fuck. They told the story on the podcast episode about the wedding. Great episode. Highly recommend you check it out. This motherfucker's account of events are a little out of line with reality.
Family collectively was like, oh.
No, okay. Not when fuck was uttered, when the N-word was uttered, because somebody quite
Don't say that shit like that. I'm getting ahead of myself.
decided to go and ask the DJ to play Not Like Us by fucking Kendrick Lamar.
It was funny as shit.
Quite requested it.
Yeah, he dropped a Drake song like right after it.
That happened. The fucking DJ played a Drake track, not really knowing this, like the meaning behind Not Like Us. Immediately, like 2 songs after Not Like Us played.
You already, because he came up to me while I was ordering a drink and he said,
That is not true. That is not true. This motherfucker is lying on my name. There's like a certain level of weight that comes with that song. It's not my wedding. And he's making me have to be some kind of drunk, like I was slurring my words. This motherfucker's lying on my name, and I won't stand for it. Genuinely, like, I listen to that podcast on my own time. Chemistry they have is like that in calls, and like just getting to hear them like shoot the shit while I'm like doing my laundry is a lot of fun. Los Palos, Mal, and Ak are the top 3 potential fathers for Drake's secret daughter. That's crazy, man. Quite, you made me realize I was a lesbian. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Did you just pick a day I was like, yeah, like a day I explicitly said I was a man, and you're like, oh yeah, no, definitely not attracted to those. What do you mean? That's brutal, man. That's brutal. Just carved a hole right where my heart, like, goddamn. I'm happy for you. Christ, though, that's brutal. I have this joke, like, I haven't figured out if I'm gender fluid yet, but if I am, definitely gonna like pick what I'm feeling on the day. If it's payday, bro, I'm a man that day. I ain't taking a 30% pay cut just to affirm my identity. I'm getting that bag. So there's a few more at the wedding. There's a few more like on that wedding trip. Y'all know the YouTuber Funky? First time meeting him, he's really sweet. Great videos, by the way. Highly recommend checking them out. Like a decent amount of the inspo for this model came from like how he animates his characters. But like he was actually an inspiration for like this model. He bought an RGB lamp that you control on your phone. The thing is, he was also like voice activating it. Like he'd say a color and it would change to that color, right? Noodle was trying to do the same thing. Like he'd say a color and then like, oh yeah, it changed to the color, right? It's cool. The thing is, it is not voice activated. He was just changing the color on his phone as he said the color. Noodle did not realize it was not voice activated for the longest time, so he would just say a color at the lamp, varying ways and loudness and intonations to try and get it to change. He would make it work sometime by pressing the color on his phone. And we just kept that shit up for like a day or two. I shouldn't take credit for this. That was his bit. We just had this motherfucker yelling at a lamp for days. Feel bad. I gotta get him in on some bits we gotta pull on other people next time, because I'm realizing there have been multiple things that he just got duped on, man. But we also saw this Star Wars burlesque show. Basically, if you don't know what a burlesque show is, it's, at least in the context of this one, it was like an adult parody with like choreography and dancers based off scenes from the movie. We went to see a Star Wars burlesque show in Montreal. A show set in English, but they're based in Montreal. So the show was for the most part done in French because they don't get to very often. Totally makes sense. I was just very excited for the end of the show to get Billy to translate the shit he was saying on the stage. Okay, we're just gonna say the important parts in English. For the most part, the jokes are gonna gonna be in French because we don't ever get, it's hometown, you know, you gotta, like, I totally fair. That motherfucker was apparently really hates, I forgot, it was like a certain city in Canada. I'm drawing a blank. Like, he was just talking a lot of shit about this one province. Just, he was getting wild, apparently. That aside, the choreography was genuinely great. Titties, nice, awesome, ass, awesome. It was a bisexual's dream because they had like men up there too. It was dope. Really good show. My first burlesque show. I was like double fisting drinks the whole time though, because like that's like the kind of thing like, yeah, I'm gonna have a brewski at this, you know what I'm saying? And on the last night, the night that I was supposed to be in Englewood to watch the show, instead of that, like me and the homies just all gathered around the TV at the B&B we were all sharing, and we just watched the Pop-Out concert together. And like all the surprise like appearances, Dr. Dre, like Tyler the Creator coming out there was probably the biggest surprise for me. And then when they had the what, like all the camera angles changing, like I remember like in the like the apartment we were all in, we were like, no, wait, that's fucking sick. Wait, that's fucking sick. Camera work and pyrotechnics and the whole production crew were so on point. I cannot believe Jeff Bezos greenlit that. But hard ass picture at the end, playing not like us 6 times. He just stopped and started it and stopped and started it over and over and over, and he's dancing on his grave. Yeah, it's like as cool as it would have been to be there on the floor that night, there is like a live experience you only got if you watched it because of like how they were doing all the camera work. It was like a worthwhile experience no matter what, because they were doing like cool shit like to sync up with the song. It was so well planned out. Kendrick didn't drink water once. His hat did not move out of place. The outfit he was wearing was a Tupac reference. But that's all the stuff I remember from the wedding for the most part. I thought it was really cute in the thumbnail. Color green is overrated. You're only saying that because you're in my Twitch chat. Guys, look, there's like a little me in the background. There's this little me in the background. Isn't that cute? Look at them. They're beautiful husbands. At VidCon though, saw a lot of familiar faces. Got to see James, Corey, Adam, like some of my animation friends. Got to see Crumb again, Crumb my beloved. It's always a treat getting to see like them. And the box only gives them like an inch or two. Actually, I will skip ahead to like some meet and greet stories. Jillian was at AX. She was working the like an artist alley stand with some of her friends, like a machine. The work ethic she puts in here, she's got in real life too. That's a doggone motherfucker. She was in the meet and greet line and came up to me on call with all the other mods, and with every person I was like seeing at the meet and greet, I was like, you know, trying to be like, you know, thankful, thank you for coming out, because, you know, I appreciate it. It's taking the time out, going through to the 18+ section and seeing all the come on women's titties that are out in the open once you get your ID check. But as soon as she walked up, I was like, who is this bitch? Who let her through the line? And then she like pulls up the Discord call and I'm like, I'm sick of you. Guys, Kwote made me more gay. That's, you know, that's actually not that surprising. Oh, me. Yes, you, Jillian. Thank you for showing up. It was very nice hanging out with you. Apparently, like at the booth I was at, I had the most cosplayers come through. It was 18+ section. It was a lot of like people who do NSFW stuff. So like, it was like most of the lines were like a mix, like, you know, people who like genuinely appreciate the content with a gooner element attached. I'm sure some of you were not innocent of that who were in my line, but it's like apparently had the most cosplayers, which was really neat because I got to see people like just dripped the hell out. But there was like this one bit I was doing where if somebody asked for a picture on their phone, I'd be like, here, give it to me real quick. And then I just lay it down on the table and flip the camera and I'm like, lean over awkwardly with me. So it was just looked like we were like looking down a manhole in Vietnam or some shit. I think it was a fun little bit. I don't like, honestly, like I think like if I do meet and greets in the future, even if they're not in like an 18+ section, they're gonna be 18+. Like no offense to the youngins in my audience, but like I don't make content for kids, bro. I read porn comments like every other video. I review OnlyFans, post pictures of my ass. Like I don't lie about what's in my content, but I can't like control everybody's viewing habits. That's kind of on the individual and the parents. That said, I did feel bad because this one mom came in place of her kid, and it was like a real like wholesome like house mom. And then she came through to this 18+ section to get an autograph for her kid, and oh my god. I felt so bad, like having to walk through all that shit. Like dude, there was like, I was literally sitting where the line was gonna like supposed to form while Cotton's. She's very sweet. I kind of apologized for like, I'm sorry I had to walk through all that shit, but like, you know, that's good on you. That's really cool you're doing that for your daughter. She's like, don't worry about it. I'd do anything for my kid type shit. And I was like, oh, my heart was like genuinely like really full by the end of that. Buff Pup's birthday was like the day or two after the Disney day, and All Tribe got invited to record a video, surprise, like just like doing some like funny jokes. But his bit, every third happy birthday was just like one of 10 he had submitted. I gotta show you this.
You just like send me video footage of you just getting like beat the fuck up.
Hey, what's up?
This video is a fucking mess. These two guys keep harassing me.
Fast forward to mine.
Hey, Buff, just wanted to wish you a happy birthday. Whoever set this shit up and didn't invite me, fuck you, for one.
I like, it's obviously like, it was just like a mistake. I don't actually, like, it's not a problem at all. It was just really funny to like make a joke out of once I got an opportunity to be
My
in.
bad. What the fuck?
I hope
Also, this is, you can see I'm wearing the bodysuit that I wore to Disney under this shit.
you're having a good
Thank you.
It was me again.
Oh man, like he was diabolical. He was like recording one while we were waiting in line to go like to get into Rise of the Resistance. It was in front of all the stormtroopers and he was like, "Hey Buff, happy birthday. I'm getting arrested right now."
Get pranked, buddy. Get pranked, bucko.
Another fun thing was I think it was the last night when I was hanging with Crumb, Eret, Ava, our buddy James, sorry, Scott. I hope he doesn't see this. I fucking mixed up the names. It was either Ava or Scott. We were like passing around the Ox, and while Crumb was in the car, it's like, "Hey, let's play Look at Me by XXXTentacion." Fucking like Ava had Suicide Boys playing, I had like Zach Fox playing, and then I'm pretty sure like the cognitive dissonance of this sweetheart, just, you know, protect them with my life type shit, you know, that's gang. Just sitting in the middle seat listening to this.
Can't keep my dick in my pants.
Yeah, yeah, cognitive dissonance there, right? But after that, like when we all parted ways, like Eret and Ava went back to pack up and head back to LA proper. Some of us, like I had to pack that night as well. But I stayed out like a few hours extra because like it was like the last night at the Hyatt where all the creators stay. Raina and my friend Corey, Shellshock, and it was like us and like him and a bunch of like animator friends just sitting at like a table getting drinks. We ordered some wine bottles and then we like played a drunk game of Wavelength. Great board game. I gotta buy me my own. Great way to end the night. Really cozy, just hanging with friends type shit. Speaking of Eret though, I think it was the day right before the last of AX. Like, I'm at their apartment in like 10 to 15 minutes. This motherfucker's like, "Oh yeah, I got an invite to go to the White House this morning." And they were in DC. Here, let me really spell it out to you, like how insane. Like, they just dropped it casually and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to the White House later. It's gonna be really fun." Alistair just has the weirdest connects. Like, here's them at the press conference podium. That's where I am in this. Or, not the exact place. I think this might be actually a different building. But like, that's this. And this is them actually there. Stealing my whole bit, stealing my whole flow. And they just talk about this casually and like, "Oh yeah, I got invited to NASA last week. I just got back from NASA. I was at a NATO meeting. I was at a NATO meeting. There's Joe Biden in the same room as me. Dozens of other world leaders like Volodymyr Zelensky right there. Fucking Christ, dude." And yeah, can confirm Joe Biden apparently just looks like that. He just looks like that. What the fuck? How? I don't know. A homie just popped into the White House all casual. Just hanging out. Yeah, Joe Biden and Eret in the same room is crazy. I'm gonna be on a Pokemon cipher. Does anybody here know who Cam Steady is? This fella, rapper, singer, songwriter, creator of hit song Mewtwo. I'm gonna be on like a Pokemon type cipher of his soon, just part of side questing. But he invited me over to his place on the last day of AX, and I just recorded some vocals while I was out there, and it was actually really cool. Like, it was my first time like recording stuff while like in the room with someone else, and I was sweating my dick off. Kind of got me over like another hurdle, and like I'm just like, I've gotten better at like letting people hear my music to give feedback, but like hearing them like while they hear my takes as I take them and they give live direction, it was really useful and informative. But I was sweating and like with nerves like more than I usually do, even though I know this guy's not gonna be rude about it at all. It's just like one of those new things. It was just like a new experience for like being perceived while I make a thing is like nerve-wracking for me. Like he really made it like a positive experience, and I just wanted to like shout him out for that. Got to hang with a lot of cool people during this trip. One of them being All Tribe. This dude is insane. All Tribe rocked up to the con on the first day. It was either first or second day. I think it was the first day. He rocked up to the con wearing these Lightning McGroomer Crocs with toes sticking out of them. Genuinely vile. I cannot describe to you the visceral emotions. Also, there's a photo floating around somewhere. It was at the Vichy Bond Mixer. He wore them there too, and there's like a picture. And now Project Melody has a picture on her phone of me getting dangerously close to licking them. I was only posing because I'm not touching these with my tongue or otherwise. That exists in the memory of her files now. Melody's also very sweet. I met her while I was very drunk at TwitchCon, but she's great. I met her and remembered the experience this time. Can you get that shit off the screen? I had to look at them, man. He rocked up to the con with those with multiple days and wore them to a professional mix. A professional is a really big word. I'm starting to realize how crazy of a 3 weeks I've had. Ever since I got home, I've spent these last few days just kind of crashing out. I have stayed in bed way longer than I should be. I don't really care. I needed it. Let the bed bugs bite. That's evil. All right, I'll catch y'all on Monday. I'm looking forward to getting back into full swing with things. You know, building up the numbers because I love numbers more than anything, especially you as people. That's how you order me, numbers. But yeah, looking forward to, you know, properly getting back into it. I'll see y'all soon.